Mario Bellini and his son Claudio work together in Milan. They're an extremely successful team. Mario first made his name with furniture. His steel chair, upholstered in leather for the Cassima company, made Mario Bellini famous. The cab is now a classic.
This has been widely copied all around in many, many ways. And it means I have started a kind of chair which didn't exist before.
After spending 40 years designing furniture, Mario now concentrates increasingly on architecture. But 9 years ago, his son Claudio started designing furniture, chiefly for Vitra, one of Europe's largest manufacturers of office furniture. Members of the German parliament have been sitting on Bellini chairs for years. Whether designing for kitchens or offices, Claudio has inherited his love of furniture from his father.
In some respects, my father can now learn something from me too, as someone from another generation. And that's what makes working together so interesting.
This fact to know somebody else is walking along with you and then will go on, it's something which makes you feeling happier.
Bellini design even has a place in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. MoMA hosted a retrospective of the Italian designer's work in 1987, mainly due to his famous work for the Olivetti computer manufacturer.
I'll give you an example. When you deal with a fish fork or normal fork, the difference has very little to do with function. There are cultural differences. Why a fruit knife has to be smaller than a regular knife? There's no reason. It is a purely ritual difference, anthropological difference.
The Bellini studio in the heart of Milan is where the work takes shape. 12 workers on average develop the new prototypes. Claudio Bellini likes his teams to be international.
I'll give you an example. A teapot. We sell it all over the world. Italy, France and Japan. When we're making it, I always ask each of my staff what they think of it. And because we all work on it together, wherever we come from, our products can sell all over the world.
Mario Bellini is currently working on Turin's new library. Like many Italian designers, he's also an architect. And so is his son. But there's no confusion over division of labor. Claudio is in charge of the design business. But occasionally, father and son do find themselves talking shop.
Some of our clients, our regular clients, have been with my father for years, but I'm responsible for all the new commissions. However, I often work in the studio together with my father.
Sometimes he's doing things by himself, and I might pass by and say something or put down on the table just a word or something which might influence a bit what he's doing or not.
The new generation is taking the reins at Bellini. Design, Italian style. Claudio Bellini is making sure the family name retains its flawless reputation.
It doesn't just sound good, it looks good too. The new Morgan Aeromax. It's the brainchild of Matthew Humphreys, a 21-year-old design student who did what others only dream of doing. He completed the sketches of the new model as a student when he was on a work program with Morgan. His bosses loved them. It was to be the start of a meteoric career rise.
Well, it's a complete dream come true, basically. To have a car built in my final year university is just unbelievable. And I can't think of anybody I know of this that has happened to them. It's like a fairy tale, basically, people describe it as.
While the front of the Aeromax is unmistakably Morgan, the rear is closed and reminiscent of the cars Morgan built in its early years in the 1930s. Inside, a fusion of modern steel and elegant hardwood accents. The trunk provides space for luggage. The leather upholstery is 100% hand-finished.
Obviously, one of the big features of this car is to keep that Morgan feeling. And obviously, big design detail is having these long, fantastic wings which flow down the car. Now, all the lines on these cars, the idea is to capture that emotion. Real point of it is to have that feeling like a Hollywood film star would have.
In fact, the Morgan was dreamt up a long way from Hollywood, in Malvern Link near Birmingham, England. The classic Morgan's basic shape originated over 70 years ago, when cars were still tailored to individual customer needs. To this day, the laminated ash frame is still a key component. In keeping with company tradition, the Aeromax design is based on its predecessor, the Aero 8. Matthew reworked the look to perfection.
Matthew is certainly very talented, and it's a special talent to be able to produce a Morgan design that still looks like a Morgan, but is up to date and moving us forward into new markets.
This is where it all began, Coventry School of Art and Design. In spring 2004, Matthew applied for an internship with Morgan. After an initial rejection, he got the position. 1 year later, he was being heralded as the next head designer. The Aeromax was unveiled in March to widespread acclaim. Experts and punters alike agreed that Matthew's model was a masterpiece. Even Morgan purists are impressed.
This one is fantastic.
This car, of course, maybe it's the future, but I still would like the oldest +8 Morgan best.
It has yet to be decided whether the Aeromax goes into serial production or remains a limited edition only. His professors refuse to recognize the masterpiece as his graduation project, but Matthew isn't bothered. He's already working on his next Morgan design. Matthew Humphreys, from student to star designer in just 1 year, a career in the fast lane.
Exquisitely soft blankets in warm colors, and elegant, subtly patterned covers. Swedish textile designer Fanny Aronson is an expert at using fabrics to give interiors a particular flair. She believes that fabrics are absolutely essential for giving a room an identity.
Even a room without textile, you would really feel that there are no textiles, I think. And if you have kind of textiles, it's kind of interfering the style, because it's furniture is more neutral without any kind of dressing up.
Fanny Aronson's creativity is inexhaustible. Her collection includes some 1,700 different fabrics, all made from exquisite yarns. What's also special about them is that they can be combined in numerous ways.
You can have this, for example, nice, shiny, luxurious, opulent mohair quality with a small pattern which is woven, or you can have a more dull quality like this, still being very rich but having a different expression. And then maybe combining those is making it even more exciting.
Fanny Aronson grew up in Sweden and studied textile design in Stockholm before embarking on her impressive career. Her fabrics are now in demand internationally. The designer develops her unusual textiles in her studio in the Netherlands. She particularly enjoys developing innovative new yarns, for example, made from mohair and silk. She has received several design prizes for her work, including the prestigious Red Dot Award.
I think then it's very nice to try to look around the next corner. I mean, if you have opened a door, I never just shut it and close it again. Then I would like to go through and to open the next.
Fanny Aronson's fabrics are a firm favorite with many interior designers, but she also has private clients. The high-class materials are produced in many different European countries. Her style is modern, but the designer is careful not to follow fashion slavishly.
I think it's important that you have feeling that you have a special product, but also that it has a timeless character, that it can develop nice, that it's kind of working in a room not only when you come home and the following day, but also that you like it when you have seen it for a couple of years and maybe even several years.
The designer's main source of inspiration comes from nature. The flower markets in Amsterdam are among her favorite haunts. The play of color among the foliage and blossoms give her new ideas for her textiles.
It's important to me, only the privilege of going to market like this and looking to a lot of different flowers, and then you buy, you have to make a selection, you cannot buy anything, but then you come home with a beautiful bouquet like this. It's inspiring.
Fanny Aronson successfully manages to combine nature and elegance. And it's a recipe that has many interior design fans asking for more.
Once upon a time, there was a man with a passion for furniture making who came to live deep in the lonely forests of Finland. Lutz Reinhardt from southern Germany has lived here for 35 years. He's fascinated by the country and the people and the material his dreams are made of, wood. Some 10 years ago, Reinhardt started to specialize in reproducing famous designs by the late star Finnish architect Elio Saarinen. He acquired the rights to copy the Art Nouveau furniture collection and market it worldwide. A challenging task.
The Art Nouveau furniture comes with a message. You have to capture this expression, and that's very time-consuming. That's why the chairs and the other furniture items don't come cheap.
Born in 1873, Saarinen's Art Nouveau creations won a great deal of admiration, not only in Finland, but also in Germany and the rest of Europe. In 1925, he went to the US, where he made a name for himself as an avant-garde architect. He designed many pieces of furniture, as well as the complete interiors for his buildings.
This furniture was never mass-produced. It was individually designed by Saarinen for each new building. But the interest in the furniture was so great, it was later decided that it should be manufactured in limited editions.
Saarinen furniture, recreated by Reinhardt and his team of expert carpenters. The objects are both timeless and contemporary. That's what makes them so popular with his many customers.
We have customers all over the world. Here in Finland, we sell to private customers, as well as the government. A lot of Finnish embassies contain examples of Saarinen furniture. Sometimes the boss also has to roll up his sleeves.
Reinhardt always gives the furniture a final inspection. Its trademark, the loving attention to detail.
It's not always as profitable as it may seem, but it's an interesting way of life. Now, a lot of things have developed around the furniture making that I'd hate to do without.
Creating furniture from Saarinen designs is a challenging task, but Lutz Reinhardt cannot imagine anything he'd rather do.
Welcome to my lab.
The egg and its creator.
32-year-old Lee McCormick calls his futuristic construction an Oculus, named after the opening at the top of Rome's ancient Pantheon, a building dedicated to the gods. McCormick sees his Oculus as a temple for the modern world.
Man going back to nature. You go inside it and you're completely encapsulated in your own world. It's kind of like escaping from the reality of the way we live now.
In multimedia jargon, an Oculus is a media immersion pod. It offers internet access, Dolby surround sound, a flat-screen monitor, and a games console. The design is luxurious, finished in fine leather. The perfect place to get away from it all, relax, and immerse oneself in electronic entertainment.
Not every Oculus is just about surfing the internet and watching DVDs. I'm working with a university in Holland to develop the ultimate gaming experience. So you're in here, it could be a flight simulator, a racing simulator, or a vehicle for playing Xbox or Sega PlayStation, something like that.
The Oculus is available in 16 different countries in a range of colors and patterns. Lee McCormick and his team tinkered for 2.5 years on the idea of putting entertainment electronics inside an egg. The creative team from London is trying to turn the Oculus into a familiar trademark. The virtual experiential world of the future can already be viewed on the internet. And it already has a large community of enthusiasts.
I think quality of life and lifestyle and being true to yourself and actually doing what you believe in are the sort of values that the Oculus represents. It's not the sort of product where you identify a market and then say, okay, now I'm going to design a product to fit that market. That's not what it's about. It's about what do I want, how do I want to live, what do I enjoy.
McCormick became world famous for his contribution to the movie Tomb Raider, the film version of the cult video game of the same name. McCormick designed the magic backpack for Lara Croft, the lead character of the movie. Flashback to 3 years ago when the British designer had his breakthrough.
This is the backpack I produced for Lara Croft, Angelina Jolie in the Tomb Raider movie. It's basically all leather, molded plastic. It's all sculpted by hand. You can see the detail in the leather. It's like the workmanship's very fine. I only ever made 10 of these, and the bag was designed to do lots of different things. These would come out, this would open up.
At that time, he was already pursuing his idea of building modern technology into everyday objects. Lee McCormick finds inspiration on the streets of London.
I'm very much driven by a sense of anger, I guess. A sense of anger at the way we treat each other, a sense of anger at the way governments manipulate people, all these elements. But I wouldn't say I'm political at all. It's just I like people and I like to understand or get a feel for where our society is moving.
McCormick turns his observations into fascinating objects. His Oculus is drawing attention and interest all over the world.
Having fun is high on the agenda at Droog Design in Amsterdam. Avant-garde meets retro, kitsch cozies up to conceptual art. Contradiction runs through the designs here. This is the cult lamp 85 bulbs. Chopped down tableware might take a bit of getting used to. Chairs made of Lego. Droog Design works with a select crew of artists.
Droog Design is working with a network of about, let's say, 50 designers from all over the world. Could be from America, Japan, Europe, doesn't matter. So it is more if we join together that same mentality. And this mentality is really far beyond the traditional functionalist design.
Gijs Bakker and René Remakers have been working together this way since 1994. Droog Design is a state-backed foundation which has been gradually gaining in popularity in recent years. Exhibitions of Droog works can now be seen all over the world, like here in Japan. A ping-pong table integrated into a garden fence. A cupboard made of drawers. A moving bench. Come a little closer is the motto behind these Droog objects, always with a touch of dry humor.
Design is thinking about functions, thinking about concepts in relationship with the context and time. We are living in the 21st century, and for me design is always changing because the culture is changing.
The creative masterminds behind Droog Design are always on the road, always looking for new ideas. They find inspiration all over the place, even in a chocolate shop. Amsterdam has proven a springboard for many design careers. In recent years, the Netherlands has become a center of the industry. Droog Design played an important role in that development. In the meantime, young designers from all over the world have come to Amsterdam with the ambition of joining the Droog Design pool. That suits the Netherlands just fine. The country wants to provide a platform for young designers.
We want to create every time to stimulate new developments, and at the same time we would like to distribute these products to a world market. That's really an aim, yeah.
Droog Design has set about conquering the global market with unique products that have already established the team among the top flight of European designers.
The Swiss Army knife is a symbol of Switzerland and a reliable tool, even in outer space. Its classic design is immediately recognizable the world over. The trusty red knife has even served as an inspiration for art, like these works at New York's Museum of Modern Art.
The Swiss Army knife is certainly associated with Switzerland. The whole world sees the knife as a symbol for Swiss quality, Swiss functionality. But I also think the tradition connected with the pocket knife has also helped the product's popularity.
Victorinox's headquarters lie in what's called Swiss Knife Valley, located in the Swiss canton of Schwyz. Founded 122 years ago by Karl Elsener I, Victorinox is still a family-run business. Today, the firm is managed by Elsener's great-grandson Karl IV, together with his siblings and brothers-in-law. It's a real family dynasty.
I think that's really important to the success of our business. Here in Ibach, we employ more than 900 workers. And yet, in this big group, we've managed to retain the family atmosphere.
Die Familienatmosphäre zu erhalten. What were once ordinary knives have now become multifunctional tools. Packaged in the most modern design, one of the newest is called Swiss Memory. It features computer memory, LED, and an integrated alarm, a successful symbiosis of tradition and high-tech.
As far as the original Swiss Army knife is concerned, we don't want to change the design at all. That's because we consider the design to be a very important part of the product. So for us, it would be out of the question to build a knife around some function, around a GPS, for example. We really don't want to change the design one bit.
The Swiss Army knife was born in 1884. Originally, it was simply a robust knife for the country's soldiers. If an officer wanted the better-equipped officer's knife, he had to pay for it himself. After all, it had more to offer than just one simple blade. After the Second World War, the knife also became popular with civilians. Now, 25 million Victorinox knives in more than 100 variations are sold each year around the globe.
Naturally, we remain very attentive and keep an eye on the market. And we observe emerging trends as we've done in the past. There were new types of sports like inline skating and snowboarding. 20 years ago, no one was talking about them. Clearly, those are sectors with very large target groups, and it would be well worth designing products aimed at them.
These days, Victorinox is producing lifestyle products like backpacks, luggage, and watches, all featuring decade-long warranties and the Swiss quality for which the company is famous. But it's the extremely hardy officer's knife which remains the backbone of the business.
With certain tools, which really have to withstand a lot, we go to the limits. We need to see how much it will take and where the limits lie before we make promises in the marketplace.
The Swiss Army knife may be more than 120 years old, but it still looks as sharp as ever.